Hello everyone, we're very pleased to invite Chung Tham, a Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Leader for GDS Assurance.
Hi Jay, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you? About you?
Not too bad.
How did you get inspired to be a Diversity, Equity and Inclusion champion? It's not everyone's cup of tea, and not everyone shows the commitment that you've shown to this cause.
So it's very personal to me. So I'm a third generation Indian Chinese. Grandparents migrated from China and I was born in India and Bangalore. So I have a very different perspective when it comes to inside or outside the dynamic. Right? I've always felt that I was different. I didn't think I let that stop. A lot of personal challenges as well in terms of extended family members who are part of the LGBTQ community, and I saw challenges they suffered, they didn't understand, and that led to a lot of curiosity for me to understand what is it that we go through. So my journey actually started with volunteering with an ERG, an employee resource group within GDS that wanted to understand how can people from different generations work together.
Interesting.
And from there, I was then invited to join the DE&I Council for GDS, and I started working on multiple projects. So multi-generation was one, PWD, working on people with disabilities was the other, and that also then led me to actually take up the DE&I role for assurance. It was an organic journey, and for me it's personal. I'm curious. I've also been inspired by people who I meet on a day-to-day basis.
You've articulated this because what you say implies that DE&I is not an agenda, but it's a way of being. And it's not a way of being for a few of our leaders, but for all of us, so that we build that kind of a cohesive culture which really accepts everybody for who they are and helps them excel at whatever they do.
Yeah.
Now, in the past 2 years, because of the pandemic, you've seen a lot of newcomers join in a virtual setting. How have you translated the DE&I agenda, beyond the offices into a hybrid working space?
I think what's really interesting is in this pandemic, when we have hired people, we've been doing that virtually without having a face-to-face interaction. And what we've noted is the biases and the preconceived notion that people have when they hire a person with disabilities is not there, right? Because they don't see it.
Right.
And we actually have a case where one of the people who we hired has spinal muscular atrophy, and the team didn't know it, but she was working really well, and they treated her exactly like everyone else. Only when we talked about people coming back to office, then she talked about the challenges she would have on terms of mobility. But I think just working in a hybrid virtual environment really removed a lot of those challenges. The other thing that we're looking at is technology. So today people have mobility challenges. We're leveraging a lot on tools like MS Teams, where we're doing a lot of virtual discussions. Right. We have software like JAWS, we have closed caption, which helps us work with people who have hearing disabilities, sight disabilities as well.
Correct.
And today it's about how do we create careers for these people, fulfilling long-term careers, using technology and leveraging all the different tools that we have, so that they can have an equitable working environment. I wouldn't say it's one person. It's people who you meet on a day-to-day basis. Be family members, friends, work colleagues. So I have extended family members. One person's a surgeon. One person's a dancer in London. I've seen people and I've hired people who, another person who comes to mind who had mobility, disability, and also became a transgender. So people like these were able to surpass all the different challenges that life throws at them and really achieve something for themselves, right? and live the life that they want to live. I think those are inspirations.
Let's talk about one specific source, like the Gen Z or the Generation Z. These are young people who are impatient, who want to explore life to the fullest, who also have lesser inhibitions compared to the early generations. how do you think do they deal with the DE&I?
I would say both Gen Y, which are the millennials, and Gen Z, a lot more open-minded. They're more open to exploring, they're more open to listening to people and to actually voicing their concerns, their issues. I'll give an example. So we had a transgender employee who was coming out to his team, and he asked me to, and the talent team to do an introduction for him, and it was new for all of us, the first time doing it. So I was a little apprehensive in terms of how his team would take it. So we had about 40 people in the room. So I introduced aspects about DE&I, talked about the LGBTQ community, and then he came up and talked about his journey. And he actually went through that transition while he was in one. And at the end of it, his entire team stood up, they applauded him, they came up and congratulated him. I think definitely our younger generation a lot more open-minded to accepting this change and also being champions with it. Right? We see a lot of people joining our Purple Champion Network for PWD. We see a lot of them joining the Allies Network, which supports LGBT+. So that's the future for us.
That's very heartening to hear, Chung. And I'm very proud that we work in EY, a place where I think we really foster diversity and we breed inclusion. And now we are focused in a big way on equity. I hope that we just keep pushing on this agenda and making a bigger positive difference in the lives of all our employees. Chung, thank you for your time. This has been a wonderful conversation and I look forward to the next conversation.